you're at these conventions, or now, you've built up obviously a significant fan base over the years, what
Mm.
are one or two of the drawings in particular from the source that people often reference, or that people say to you all the time, or that really stick out to them?
One-on-one, it's different every time. Everybody has their
Really?
own different thing. Yes. There's
That's
never
that's a testament to your work, man. Congratulations.
exactly. There's never now on the internet, there's ones that are posted every freaking year that I have absolutely no control over. KRS and PM Dawn him thrown off the stage. I don't even have to promote. I mean, I post it, but I don't have to post it because it's usually posted. JMJ RIP. That's usually posted. Um, I would say one that caught me off guard that I now made a print of and post would be the Lost Boys. I drew them on the back of milk cartons. Lost Boys. So there are certain ones that it's like I said, when people meet me and they are real hip hop heads and source heads, um, they know which are their favorites. They got two, three. It's like, yo, I used to have this on my wall. So certain things bring back memories to them. Um, and they don't need me to solidify that memory, but when they do see me, especially if they never saw what I look like or and don't expect me to be there, um, that part definitely makes me feel good. Lets me know I go in at mostly everything I do with positivity around me. I'm definitely not trying to belittle anybody and take them down. Now, if you said some stupid shit, I'm just using your own words that you used and I'm drawing it. But it's not. I don't have to sit down and be mean spirited, which I can be, but that's not my flow.
Right. And one of the things, I know that the City Winery is highlighting is the album cover you drew for Ja Rule. Um,
Actually, that is not hanging in the show. They can see it. They can purchase it
oh,
on the website they have, but there actually wasn't room. So I had to edit down what was gonna hang. Um, so I think there's 30. I originally bought 40 pieces there to hang. I used to just do a show called 50 Shades of Dre, which is kind of like a retrospective, college work, all that. And then I was like, all right, for this, we're just gonna do nothing but last words. And the space they had, I knew it wasn't gonna hold 50. So I bought 40 and then I had to edit down. So I had to take out uh Blood in My Eye cover, which was the Ja Rule album cover. And I think I took like two or three others out, but they're still on the website. But that one is not hanging.
oh, that's a shame.
I am hanging a Kanye though. I thought they wanted that one pulled, but they's like, no, we can hang that one. So we got a Kanye hanging.
Congratulations.
Thank
So,
you.
as with the Ja Rule, Blood of My Eye, you started doing some album covers and different things beyond the last word. Um,
Mhm.
how did that change kind of the direction or the evolution of your career, if at all?
It actually didn't because around the time I started at the source, maybe a little bit after, I was doing a lot of stuff. I got called in to do Slick Rick's. I think it was a 12-inch album cover. Another artist got the spot, but it's a close up of Slick Rick's face with a gold tooth. I got called in to do that. I got called in to do KRS-One's album cover where he had like a white woman sitting on his lap. It was art
Oh,
drawn. I
sex and
forgot.
violence?
Yes, I got called in to do that. They looked at my portfolio. So I was getting called in to do certain work. I almost got that one, but they didn't pay me what I wanted, so I turned it down. Um, I actually had gotten called in to do Snoop's album cover, the artwork.
For
Was it the
Doggy
first one?
Style?
Yes, the artwork. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So I was getting calls during that whole source time period. But I was just like, thankfully at that moment, I didn't have to. There was a time period where I would have took those jobs because I needed the dough, but other things were happening. I was doing other magazines and that, and I also was aware in the record industry, they were trying to pay artists and writers as little as possible to get what they wanted for them and make more money off of it. So I was like, you're not gonna pay me, I'm not gonna do it. So I turned those down. Um, and then actually, Lear Cohen. became a fan of my work. So he would call me in to do stuff that never saw the light of day. Like I did some drawings for Warren G and the Twins, possible album covers. I did a possible album cover, sketches and art, which I still have for Slick Rick's album when he was in jail. Um, I'm trying to think what else. But then I did like one or two album covers for Aaron Fuchs and Tough City. So those two might be out there somewhere. I was supposed to do that Redman album cover, but they called me like 2 weeks before, and I draw slow as hell. So they wanted like 4 or 5 different drawings. So I finished one. I drew him in the car with a chicken head. Um, so I had done a couple of things, but the Ja Rule was funny because come up to the source. I had my different kind of relationship with Benzino. Meaning I had no problem telling him no. I had no idea who he was them early days when he would be sitting in the source, quiet in the room, and people was afraid of him. I'm like, I have no idea who he is. It's like, yo, that's Ray Dog. Don't say nothing to him. That's Ray Dog. It's like, I'm like, yo, what up? So we went from there. But I got there and he left a message for me to call him because he said Ja Rule wanted to speak to me about doing the artwork for his album. So went to the studio. Benzino's there with Ja Rule and Gotti, and he starts describing to me the vision that he had of the book Blood in My Eye. The concept that he had was all right, but once he told me what he had in mind, it triggered a visual for me, and I just kind of sketched it down right there. Told him what my intentions were and how I was going to do it. They okayed it on the spot. I did the vision. I took the vision of an eye, and I did was they were as a black man looking at a view of the '60s. So that was my idea for that particular one, and the eye was crying blood. So I did that, knocked it out. I was happy with it. About 2 weeks later, he calls me before the album comes out, and it's like we can't use it. Walmart and Kmart said they're not gonna use it as the lead. So I had to go and more or less to get the book cover. Just had the a silhouette of the man walking. So I did a kind of the same pose of Ja Rule walking out of the prison bars. So, but if you actually bought the album CD, the actual original cover is inside the CD. So, or else I think that would have been a classic album cover that I would have gotten my props for. But I never get the full props, and when people see it, they're like, "Oh, but yeah, would have been a different vision on that." So that's why I say it didn't really affect what I do or did.
Hmm. So with Benzino, did because I only met him a few times, but I was always cool
Okay.
with him, but I always talked to him. So what as things were developing and your own relationship separate of the rumors and the mystique or whatever,
Mhm.
what did you find when you did talk to him? What was he like for you and what
Well, we and him are probably the same age. Maybe I'm a year older because I was always the older one at the source, anyhow. Because when I went there, they all had just either just graduated from college and came there, so they were like 21, 22. I started there in 1990 at 25. So, like I said, when they got big enough where they had conference rooms, I would be sitting in there coming up with ideas, and this dude would be constantly in there and ain't saying nothing to me. I ain't saying nothing to him. Um, and it was like you weren't supposed to look at him, or you would turn into to stone or some shit. And that was like, "Don't look at Ben, don't look at him." I'm like, who is he? And he's like, that's Ray Dog. And then I found out, the history and who he was, and I just started saying what's up to him. So this is probably like early '90s. He didn't come along late in the game. He was there from early days when I was there. He was at least in the office. Maybe he wasn't making the same noise, but he was there. Um, and then it just evolved to him saying what's up, me saying what's up to him. If his son was by, spoke and said hi to his son. When I brought my nephews up, he spoke to them and was respectful and it was cool. I mean, we weren't best friends or buddies or nothing, but it was definitely cool and respectful. When he was mad at, there was 2 times where he was really mad at somebody, and he reached out specifically to find me. It's like, yo, I want you to do this. I think one of the first times was when forget who was hosting Yo MTV Awards. It might have been Chris Rock. And Chris Rock was clowning the Source and the Source Awards and whatever. And he wanted me to do some drawing of Chris Rock. And I was like, nah, I'll do my version of what you want me to do. And I drew Chris Rock like as a puppet and the Wayne brothers as a dummy on somebody's knee. And that was my way of getting across. And then the other one was when the many times I guess he was mad at Eminem. He asked me to draw Eminem as a slave master with D12 in the field, picking stuff. And I was like, yo, as a black man, I ain't doing that. I can't do that. I said, let me come up with my version of stuff. And that's kind of around the time I created the white Eminem character. And I was like, I believe that Benzino can't beat him in a rap battle. I mean, little did I know I had to wait to 2024 for him to drop something that I thought was could hit Eminem. But um, I was like, I think you would beat him in a fight. So I'm going to draw you in an alleyway beating up the D12 M&Ms, and the little white M&M's gonna be peeking in and watching. So that's what I wound up drawing for that. But those are the only times where he was like, I want you to draw this. And I would speak to him and listen. And then I was explaining to him why I wasn't gonna do it and let me do what I do. And he let me do what I do.